Hello, everyone. I am Olympia D, 105.3 R&B, midday personality, and welcome to Radio 1 Charlotte's very first community mental health series in partnership with the Mecklenburg County Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. This will be a space where you can find hope, resources, and assistance. And I'm very excited to be here, but I'm not by myself. I have my co-host with me today from WBTAM Morning Show co-host, Miss Beth Troutman. How are you doing, Beth?
Hello, Olympia D. I love that you and I get to do something together. I know that we're always in the same building, but the fact that we're coming together for such an important event, I am so thrilled, as I know you are, Olympia, to be part of Radio 1 Charlotte's very first, as you were saying, community mental health series. This is such an exciting thing that we get to be a part of. And each month, out of all 12 months, over the next 12 months, we're going to discuss topics for our listeners that affect your overall mental health. And this is such an important topic. And starting things off, this one it hits really close to home for me. It's an important issue to discuss: alcoholism and addiction, something that probably impacts someone that you know, someone that you love. And joining us today, I'm really thrilled to introduce our partner, Mr. Kiva Walton. He is the CEO of Mecklenburg County Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. Let me say that better. And he's joining us to talk a little bit about the importance of really confronting this issue and discussing it. And we're so thrilled, Mr. Walton, to have you with us.
Thank you. And by all means, please call me Kiva.
Okay.
I'm loving the energy here. You guys are off the charts. It's great. Thank you for having me and happy to be a part of this important opportunity for our community.
Right. And Kiva, here's the thing. Today is our very first initiative for mental and behavior health, and it's called the Community Mental Health. And this month, again, as Beth has stated, we're focusing on alcoholism and addiction. Can you please share with us why this partnership with Met County ABC Board is so important to you? Because as Beth says, this really hits home with a lot of different families. And what people should know is that you're not just stores, but you also do a lot of work in the community.
Absolutely. Well, it is so important to remember that alcohol is a very addictive substance. I think in a place like Charlotte, where it's plentiful and accessible, and post the prohibition, forgive me, almost said pandemic, prohibition, that wasn't the case, and so coming into being, this organization came into being in 1947. With the express purpose of managing how people access the substance. Mm-hmm. And, I think a lot of people react negatively to the word control, but we got to remember it. And Beth, you said it so well. We all know somebody, neighbor, friend, colleague, loved one. Somebody in your circle is dealing with addiction and substance misuse. And so, again, we take very seriously the responsibility of how that impacts people. Certainly, we don't want to deprive anyone of having responsible access, but we also know our young people are out there with that. And, so it's critical to our mission and our purpose to make sure that we're doing it responsibly and doing all that we can to make sure that anybody who might be struggling or know someone who's struggling has access to resources and information.
Now, one of the things that I think is really lovely about your grant programs, now, as we mentioned, as we've been discussing this, providing resources on alcoholism and addiction, and one nonprofit that has benefited from Met County ABC Board's community outreach initiatives is Anuvia Prevention and Recovery Center right here in Charlotte. They impact so many people. And right now, I would like to bring into our discussion and introduce Valerie Kopetsky. She's CEO of Anuvia Prevention and Recovery Center. And Valerie, thank you for spending the time with us this morning. The work that you do is such an important aspect of our community for folks who are dealing with things like addiction.
Thank you, Olympia and Beth, and good to see you again, Kiva.
Yes,
I'm so
always
honored to be here.
And Valerie, again, welcome to Radio One's very first initiative. But we would like for you to share with us some of the services that Anuvia Prevention and Recovery Center actually offers, because some people may not know about the services that you guys have in the community.
Absolutely. Well, before I go through the litany of our services, because they are quite broad, we have quite an array of services at Anuvia, thanks to the generosity of the ABC board. I would just like to say that at our core, what Anuvia seeks is to help folks in our community who are struggling with substance use or mental health issues to lead happy and healthy lives. So at our core, kind of that's who we are. I'd also like to mention that Anuvia has been around for over 65 years, and we're celebrating that this year. But that means, for folks who are listening, that we're a longstanding community member, and we're here for you. On this treatment side of things, we have both inpatient and outpatient services for adults. And so that can look like a detox, a 3-day detox, or a 30-day residential program on the inpatient side. On the outpatient side, that can be something like as simple as an hour a week, or it can be more intensive. It really is tailored to the individual. It's person-centered. So what our trained clinicians do is they sit down with you and they will look at you as an individual. They'll do what's called a person-centered approach and see what has occurred in your life, what strengths you have, and what you're seeking, and create an individualized treatment plan for you. And we just happen to offer a wide variety of services that can meet those needs. On the adolescent side, so we do help adolescents as well on our treatment arm. That's on the outpatient side, and we do that around kids' schedules, so around the school schedule. Obviously, in the summer, there's more flexibility in kids' schedules. We also offer them on site at the Mecklenburg schools. Some middle schools and high schools have invited us in to offer on site services there. So we're so honored to be there as well. And then, kind of adding to all of that, we have medication management. And what that looks like is our medical team will sit down with you and again, review in a person-centered way what you may need. So that may be mental health medications. It may mean some stabilization medications for you should you be suffering from opiate use disorder or alcohol use disorder. And these are FDA-approved medications that help you in your journey to get back to a happy, healthy life. In addition, we offer what's called peer support services. And so that's an add-on to most of our services. And peer support services, it's somebody who's walked in the walk and is now in recovery and can walk beside you during your journey, during your treatment journey. So that's one we're super excited to have offered to everybody who comes through our doors, whether you're here for inpatient or outpatient services. On the prevention side of things, so I'm still going through all of our services. We have quite a bit. On the prevention side, that has many looks. So it can look like what you may think, where our team goes into a school and talks about alcohol and drugs. But it can also be our team meeting with individual adolescents and talking through social and emotional skills. Our prevention team also offers family services. And so this helps with conflict resolution, just the everyday things that we as families encounter to kind of get past so that we can operate better and in a more healthy way as a family. We're in the juvenile justice system. We're involved with recovery court. So again, we just have a wide variety of services, but I would just say that it all starts with an assessment. So, please go to our website, please call us, do whatever you may need, but we're here for the community. And again, it's through the generosity of the ABC board that we're able to do that. And it's been mentioned, but and anybody listening has probably seen the news stories around overdose deaths and alcohol misuse problems and deteriorating adolescent mental health. And so our services, we recognize our services are needed and vital now more than ever. And we're just grateful to be here.
I'm so glad that you went through all of that in so much detail. What remarkable work you do. And I loved right at the beginning of you describing what Anuvia does, that you focus on the individual And I think that's so important when you're dealing with something as serious and as individualized as addiction is. And you just mentioned your partnership with Mecklenburg County ABC Board. Talk to us about how important that partnership is and how it has impacted you.
Absolutely. So I've mentioned we've been around for 65 years, over 65 years, and they were quite literally our founders. So the ABC Board recognized in the 1950s the need for an organization such as ours, and helped with the founding of our organization. So they've been with us lockstep since the beginning. And I just think back to those pioneers, both on the Anuvia and the ABC side. Of course, Anuvia had a different name then, that had the forethought to create this community partnership to help all of these years. But yes, so it is fundamental to who we are. And what's unique about Anuvia in our community is that we offer all of these services regardless of your ability to pay. And so anybody can come and access services at Anuvia regardless of what is happening financially in their lives. And we're able to do that because of the ABC Board. I make no bones about it. That is exactly how we're able to do it. So it's through the generosity of the ABC Board that folks can come into our facility and access services no matter what's facing them. And that's pretty incredible, especially when you consider all of the things that come with life. And then if you add on, mental health and substance use, it just compounds things such as our financial barriers in life. And in addition, it should be noted, and Kiva may mention this, so I'm not trying to steal his thunder, but the ABC Board also advertises treatment services in their stores, and so on their bags, on their receipts, and they even train individuals who work in the stores, because it might surprise folks, but it doesn't surprise us, that sometimes when you're walking into an ABC store, that's when you're recognizing your need for help, or you're feeling like maybe I've come here too often and I need treatment. And folks at the ABC store will actually link you to treatment should you walk in and ask for help. That's unbelievable. What a service that we have in the community. So our partnership is everything.
And Valerie, you said something that was very key, that they actually have workers in the ABC store that can provide assistance if you let them know that you need help. Maybe you're going there fairly often and you're not really, you're wondering, you're like, hey, how can I get this under control? For family members who are dealing with alcoholism and addiction, where can they go to get help?
So I would say we try to make it as easy as possible, and including linking you if it's not at Anuvia, if you need other services. And so I would just say, go to our website, anuvia.org, call our phone number, or just walk in. We're here for you. And as mentioned, we just want you to come in. It's kind of the emergency room to approach, right? So you need help, just come. And then if we're not the right place for you, we'll help find the right place for you. But we would applaud the bravery of anybody who walks through our door. And for loved ones who are listening, same to you. So
Valerie, thank you so much for saying that, how much bravery it takes and how you applaud the bravery that it takes to walk through that door. And we so appreciate the fact that you have taken the time today to talk to us about the services that Anuvia provides and how beautifully and thoughtfully you provide them. And so what I'm hoping is that people who are watching right now and all of our listeners, I hope that if there is an issue that you want to deal with, that you will take the time to utilize that contact information that Valerie just gave us and reach out to Anuvia if you need help, or if you have a loved one who needs help to take those first steps.
And of course, we want to make sure that everyone takes advantage of the services that we are offering today. And Kiva, thank you for all the work that you guys do with the Met County ABC Board, and for doing the work that is needed in our community, and providing in organizations like Anuvia Prevention and Recovery Center to provide assistance to the public. So thank you both for the work that you're doing in the community as well.
Thank you. It's our pleasure. This partnership is an exceptional one, and I thought Valerie did. I'm so glad she went into detail as well, because again, from my perspective, sometimes this is the illness that is not seen, and until it negatively begins to impact a person. And when it impacts a person, it impacts a family, a household, a life, or a series of lives. And so it's not an isolated thing. And we are so fortunate in this community to have an Anuvia, a longstanding stalwart in the Charlotte Mecklenburg community.
And as far as the dollars that you give back to the community, can you talk to us about that as well?
Sure. Well, you know, again, coming out of Prohibition, I must say the founders in Mecklenburg were very foresightful, and they said we will have one board, and in that one board, the state statutes require a minimum investment. Then Mecklenburg County came back and said, well, here's another level of investment we want to ensure over time. And so that some of those dollars go to the Mecklenburg County and the small towns, the city of Charlotte, and the public libraries. So if you've never even entered an ABC store, you are a beneficiary of the sales that this board provides. But we go beyond that. And as Valerie mentioned, you know, again, very foresightful. Those folks in the 50s who said, you know what, again, this is a highly addictive substance. We need to make sure that there is a resource there to be able to help support our folks who may not be able to just manage this effectively on their own. And so cumulatively over, 75, we're 76 years old. That's in the multi-million-dollar range of investment back into this community and its people. Somewhere in the 90s, we started a grant program because we realized that certainly sometimes the first step is reaching people where they are, in their communities, in their synagogues, in their churches. And because it knows no boundaries. There are no economic, racial, gender limits to this disease. And so the grant program, again, targeting grassroots organizations, nonprofits that are appropriately credentialed, and they apply for grants. And I'm proud to say we're about to award the FY25 grant cycle. And I think there are well over 50 community-based organizations who are out there touching, and I will say young people, because that's a great way to begin the education process about substances and misuse. And they're doing it in their communities, in their organizations. And so that's the kind of impact we've been able to have over 76 years.
Awesome. And could you please give us that mission statement as well?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We are here to lawfully sell spirituous liquor as a transparent social enterprise, providing innovation, employee empowerment, and advancement for our community.
Definitely. We love it. And the advancement of the community is what we're all about. Thank you to Kiva. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, both of you, for all the work that you're doing in the community. Beth, we appreciate you. I such adore you as a co-host for today. It's been awesome.
Oh, I love you so much, Olympia. We need to do this more often, especially communicating information like this to our listeners. And like Olympia said, Kiva, Valerie, thank you so much for joining us. And Kiva, I'm gonna say this for you because I've been listening to everything that you were saying. Mecklenburg County ABC, more than a bottle.
We'll take it.
And you know what? We got to also make sure that if you would like to get additional information or contact Anuvia Prevention and Recovery Center, please call them at 704-376-7447. Again, that number is 704-376-7447. Or for more information, you can reach them online at anuvia.org. That's ANUVIA.org. And you can get the help and the resources that you need for alcoholism and addiction. And it's been a great day. Beth, if you could, please tell everyone how they can find you.
Oh, you can find me on social media, on Instagram at Beth Troutman, or on Twitter at Beth_Troutman. But you can also just turn your radio dial to 1110 a.m. from 6 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, or 99.3 FM, 6 to 10 on Friday for Good Morning BT.
That's right. And I am Olympia D, 105.3 R&B. You can catch me Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. And you can follow me on all social media platforms at The Olympia D Show. And as I say every day, turn your negative into a positive situation. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we hope that you have a great day.
Thank you, Olympia. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.